So looks like we have a war of words between Terence Bud Crawford and Errol the Truth Spence, man, going back and forth with each other on Twitter. We have Terence Crawford saying, man, Errol Spence, look at that guy record though. That's the guy who's gonna beat your ass in real life, not the guy you posted for likes. So obviously Errol posted something. I don't know what he posted before this. Let me see here. But Errol Spence then responds and says, "Not gonna lie, 38-1 is still a great record." Listen, man, I'm excited about this, bro. I'm excited about this, man. I'm ready to see this fight. This is a fight that we've been calling for for about 3 years now, and I mean, it's just overdue in this time. It doesn't get better than this right here. So the thing about the fight is we had so many obstacles, right? We had so many obstacles to go through. First, Terence Crawford being on Top Rank, and Top Rank having an exclusive deal with ESPN. Errol Spence being with the PBC, meaning that he was with Fox and or Showtime. So we had that. That's a whole obstacle in itself. You have not only two different promotions, you have two different networks to deal with, right? So then we had the whole, even more so that you already saw it. You got the promotions, you have the networks, and then you have the fighter's ego. One fighter felt like he deserved 60-40. The other fighter felt like he deserved 60-40. I mean, it was just so much to go through. Now, fortunately, two of those things are eliminated. The network and the promotion shouldn't be an issue because the PBC has offered Terence Crawford a 2-fight deal. Terence Crawford said he would take this 2-fight deal should Errol Spence get past Ugas, which was a fair enough point. Okay, Errol Spence did that. He completed his side. So two of those issues should be eliminated: the network and the promotion. Okay. Now, Errol Spence also stated when Terence Crawford was with Top Rank, Errol Spence also stated that he wants to clean up things on his side of the street, right? A lot of people misconstrued what Errol Spence said when he said, why not go the easy route? A lot of people thought that Errol Spence was saying, like, why not take the easy fights? But people that actually understand the sport and actually understand what was going on, they knew what Errol Spence meant when he said, why not take the easy route? Errol Spence was saying he was going to clean up his side and then he was going to head to Terence Crawford, meaning at that particular time, Sean Porter had a belt. So he wanted to unify with Sean Porter, and then I think Manny Pacquiao at that time had the WBA super champion or super belt, super WBA belt or whatever. And so Errol Spence then was saying, why not, he was going to take care of his side of the street and then he was going to see Terence Crawford. Errol Spence has since kept his word. He beat Sean Porter. He then was supposed to fight Manny Pacquiao at the time, but unfortunately we all know what happened with Errol's eye. So he then turned around and beat Ugas, who beat Pacquiao and became the Super WBA champion. Errol beat Ugas. And now Errol held up his end of the deal. He stated in his post-fight reaction, hey, y'all know who I want. I want Terence Crawford. Let's get the fight going. So now that Errol has done his side, Terence Crawford is no longer with Top Rank, no longer signed with ESPN. Okay, so now the hardest part's out of the way, but we still have one more obstacle to go through, and that's the fighter's ego. Now, regardless of how you want to look at it, again, I stated this in an earlier video. Unfortunately, in boxing, it's business first, legacy second, right? So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. Legacy wise, we know Terence Crawford has accomplished more than Errol Spence, right? He was a champion at 135. He was undisputed. He was a WBO champion at 135, undisputed at 140, WBO champion at 147, I believe. So he's accomplished more. However, Errol Spence, being the more lucrative fighter, Terence Crawford, when he fights at Omaha, he does a good crowd of 11, 12,000. Great crowd, right? However, when Errol Spence is at home, as evidence his last fight with Ugas, Errol Spence brought in 40,000 people. 40,000 people, that's a lot of damn people. That's Pacquiao numbers, that's Canelo numbers, okay? Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia did 47,000 people, okay? Errol Spence versus Sean Porter did 16,000 people, but that was because it was held at what was known as the Staples Center back then in Los Angeles, okay? Not only does Errol Spence sell a bigger crowd, right, but pay-per-view wise, Errol Spence does bigger numbers. Terence Crawford versus Sean Porter did like 90,000. Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan did like 60,000, 70,000, something like that. Terence Crawford versus Victor Postol did like less than that. So in Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia did 350,000. And see, a lot of people also don't understand this though. Pay-per-view success is not always based off of how hot the number is. It's based off of what they do after they break even. So let's say if you see, a lot of people don't know this, like, but technically a pay-per-view success can be anything that goes over breaking even. So let's just say like Bob Arum. Let's say that Bob Arum spent 100,000 promoting Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan, right? And that Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan on pay-per-view did like 60,000, right? And they sold it for $50. So 60,000 for $50. 60. What's that? 60,000, $50 for that. $3 million. Hold on. Let me. I don't know. But anyways, you get the point. That's still a pay-per-view success because they got their money back plus more. So people got, a lot of people don't realize that. However, nevertheless, Errol Spence with Mikey Garcia did 350,000. Errol Spence versus Sean Porter did 300,000. Errol Spence versus Ugas did 250,000. Okay, those are still bigger numbers than Terence Crawford. Now, so you have that in a situation, you have the classic battle of business versus legacy. Also, at the time when they first were negotiating, many can argue that Errol Spence had the better resume. Now, in this situation, you can argue that because you don't know. I mean, you can argue it now because their resumes are stacking up to be similar. But at the time, Errol Spence seemed to have the better resume. At the welterweight division, I still say Errol Spence has the better resume. But Terence Crawford has a very underrated resume. A lot of people don't understand. Like, Terence Crawford has fought some very good guys. They just didn't have big names, and a lot of people they get that mixed up. They get talent mixed up, or they get talent mixed up with popularity. But Terence Crawford fought some very great guys. Felix Diaz was a good guy on Terence's resume. Victor Postol was a good guy on Terence's resume. Okay, Yuriorkis Gamboa, a good guy on Terence's resume. Okay, so these guys are good names, but they're not popular. So a lot of people get that misconstrued as well. However, bro, bottom line, me personally, it's not my business to say who should take what. I just want the fight to happen as a fan. If it's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, listen, I just want the fight to happen. I want them to get together and make the fight happen, because at the end of the day, the fans, they can get all upset. They can do what they want to do, get all mad and, this person should take this, bro. Fam, calm down, because we not touching none of that money, okay? We're contributing to it, but we're not touching none of that money. So I can care less, man. I just want them to make the fight happen. Whatever suits them, what they want to do 40-40, and then winner takes the extra 20%. It doesn't matter. I just want the fight to happen. This fight, we are owed this fight as boxing fans. So make this fight happen. All right. I'm not gonna pick a winner right now. I'll save that for if the fight happens. But I do think the fight is gonna happen. There's no excuse for this fight not to happen. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Who are you picking to win this fight? But What do I know?